Hello, good morning and welcome to Athavan newspaper highlights. Today Monday, 14th of November 2016. This is Edward with the highlights of today's English newspapers. Daily Mirror, Daily News and Ceylon Today are taken up for highlights. Firstly, let's have a look on the Daily Mirror. The main headline says, Land Bank, Government to bring all Crown lands under one body. The government is to bring in new legislation providing for the transfer of all the state land currently remaining under the purview of different bodies to a common institution named State Land Bank for disbursement for development purposes when and where necessary. Obama wanted to come here, Mangala. Foreign Affairs Minister Mangala Samaravira said that US President Barack Obama wanted to visit Sri Lanka in May this year, but it could not be worked out because the dates suggested were during the Vesak period. Indian fishermen come again, say Northeast fishermen. Indian fishermen had gone back on their word that they would not trespass into the Sri Lankan waters, fishermen in the north said. 297 Indian fishermen repatriated, says Sri Lankan Coast Guard. A total of 297 Indian fishermen who had trespassed into Sri Lankan waters in 2015 had been repatriated by the Sri Lanka Coast Guard, the annual performance report of the Defence Ministry revealed. Secondly, let's move to Daily News. Protest against enhanced fine on traffic offenders. Government to stick to its guns. Measures to prevent mounting road deaths. Private bus operators tacitly admitting they are offenders. The government will not waver in its commitment to make Sri Lanka roads safer by installing a greater sense of discipline and respect for traffic rules, Finance Minister Ravi Karunanayake said yesterday. He said that lawlessness, including the rampant disregard for road rules, was one of the biggest problems in the country. Over 90% of the proposals received by Finance Ministry in preparation of the budget called for discipline in all areas with strict adherence to the laws of the country, the minister said, responding to a demand by private bus operators to abolish the proposed minimum traffic fine of 2,500. Karunanayake said that the move was aimed at saving thousands of lives of motorists as well as pedestrians. Why are the private bus operators so much against the law? Asked the minister. Keeping fit. The Diabetes Walk to mark National Diabetes Day, which falls today, was held yesterday under the patronage of President Maithripala Sirisena on the theme Start Work Today for a Healthy Tomorrow. The walk, which commenced from Independence Square, Colombo, ended at BMICH premises. The walk was jointly organized by the Non-Communicable Diseases Unit of the Health Ministry and the Endocrinologists Association. Health and Indigenous Medicine Minister Dr. Rajitha Senaratne, Health Services Director General Dr. Palitha Mahipala, Sri Lanka Endocrinologists Association President Dr. Udit Bulugagake and Sri Lanka Diabetes Congress President Dr. Noel Somasundaram also participated. UNF MPs discussed Budget 2017 at a special conference. The United National Front MPs held a special conference at Shangri-La Hotel in Hambantota yesterday to discuss the party's future course of action on the Budget 2017, highly placed party sources said. At the meeting chaired by the Prime Minister, the party MPs discussed their future strategy with regard to the budget. There is no doubt that the budget will be passed in Parliament with an overwhelming majority, Law and Order and Southern Development Minister Sagal Ratnayake said. Finally, let's move to Ceylon Today. Container arrivals from Brazil. Port to hold back over 50 to check for narcotics. Over 50 containers which arrived from Brazil and are now in the Colombo port will not be released until they are thoroughly investigated, as officials suspect that some of these containers might contain cocaine. Investigators are specially keeping a tab on containers that are supposed to contain sugar. Transfers for 70 judicial officers. The Judicial Service Commission Secretariat yesterday announced that 70 judicial officers have been transferred. A press communique issued by Judicial Service Commission Deputy Secretary RPP Ratnayake said that 70 judicial officers, including district judges, additional district judges, chief magistrates and magistrates will be transferred. The transfers will come into effect from 1 January 2017. Triple murder in Uppavali. A mother and two female children were found hacked to death in the Uppuvali area yesterday. Police said that the bodies of the mother and her two daughters had been discovered by the villagers of Uppuvali. With the assistance of the residents, the three were taken to hospital but were pronounced dead on arrival. The 32-year-old mother and her two daughters aged 10 and 8 had been hacked with a sharp object. Police had promptly arrested the woman's 34-year-old husband, a resident of Kenya, on suspicion. New Zealand earthquake. Powerful tremor hits South Island. The US Geological Survey said the magnitude 7.4 quake hit just after midnight, some 95 kilometers from Christchurch. The Ministry of Civil Defence has warned people on the east coast of the South Island to move to higher ground in case of tsunami. Christchurch is still recovering from 2011 earthquake that killed 185 people and destroyed the city centre. With that, let's come to an end of today's paper highlights. We will come with more news tomorrow morning. Thanks for listening to other newspaper highlights.